Picture this. I'm standing in my own home, tears streaming down my face, as my roommate sneers, "What, you're gonna cry about it now?" All because my cats dared to exist in her space. My name's Sarah, I'm 23, and I thought I'd found the perfect roommates, a couple with big dreams and two big dogs. But what started as a cozy house share turned into a nightmare of betrayal, unfair rules, and outright disrespect. They tried to trap my cats, break our deal, and keep my money. They even laughed when I said I'd take them to court, saying I'd never win. Spoiler alert, they were wrong. Dead wrong. Stick around for a story of standing up, fighting back, and serving sweet justice that'll leave you cheering. This is one revenge tale you won't want to miss. If you've ever been pushed around, underestimated, or betrayed by someone who thought they could get away with it, this story's for you. Hit that like button if you love seeing bullies get what they deserve, subscribe for more jaw-dropping revenge tales, and ring that bell so you never miss a story that'll make your blood boil and your heart soar. Today, we're diving into a tale from a young woman who faced off against her nightmare roommates and came out on top. It's a roller coaster of frustration, heartbreak, and triumph that feels so good. So grab a snack, get comfy, and let's get into it. Let's rewind to last summer. I'm Sarah, 23, living in a small apartment with my two cats, Mario and Luigi. They're my world. Mario's the bold one, strutting around like he owns the place, while Luigi's my shy boy, needing extra love to feel safe. I was working retail, saving up to move somewhere bigger, when I got a message from Fern, a former coworker. She was 23, bubbly, and engaged to her high school sweetheart, Eric, also 23. They had two big dogs, one a rambunctious puppy, and dreams of renting a house with a yard. Problem was, they couldn't afford it alone. Fern's message was all warmth, "Sarah, you're so chill, and we'd love to live with you. Your cats are cool with us, and our dogs are friendly. What do you say?" I was thrilled. A house with a yard? Room for my cats to roam? Friends to share it with? Sign me up. We found a perfect 3-bedroom house with a bonus room downstairs, cozy, with hardwood floors, big windows, and a sunny backyard. I took the downstairs bedroom, right off the living room, because it had its own vibe, almost like a little apartment. Fern and Eric claimed the entire upstairs, one bedroom for sleeping, another as Fern's office, and a third as a getting ready area. I didn't question it, I was just excited to move in. We signed the lease in October, each pitching in $700 for the security deposit. The agreement was clear, my cats were welcome, their dogs were welcome, and we'd all make it work. The first few weeks were a dream. The house smelled of fresh paint and possibility. Mario took to it like a king, prowling the living room and batting at sunbeams. Luigi clung to my bedroom, his green eyes wide with worry. The dogs, a goofy older mutt named Max and a hyper puppy named Duke, mostly stuck to the living room, chasing their tails and leaving muddy paw prints on the white couch. Fern and Eric laughed it off, saying, "They're just being dogs." I didn't mind. Max was a sweetheart, and even Duke's chaos was endearing. I figured Luigi would come around. To help, I bought pet gates for the doorways, small enough for my cats to slip through but sturdy enough to keep the dogs out when needed. It felt like we were building a home together. By November, though, I started noticing things. Fern and Eric weren't great at cleaning up after their dogs. Duke, the puppy, wasn't fully house-trained, and I'd find little messes near my bedroom door, small piles that stank of neglect. I'd wrinkle my nose, grab a paper towel, and clean it up myself, not wanting to rock the boat. They also stopped taking the dogs out when it rained, saying it'd dirty the carpets. Instead, they'd let Duke and Max wrestle in the living room, leaving fur and slobber everywhere. My cats, meanwhile, were model citizens, litter box trained, quiet, and tidy. Mario started venturing upstairs, curious about the new territory, while Luigi finally began peeking out of my room, inching toward the kitchen where their cat tree stood. Then came the incident that changed everything. One chilly morning, I was sipping coffee in the kitchen when I heard Fern shriek upstairs. My heart jumped into my throat. I raced up, thinking someone was hurt, only to find Fern in her office, pointing at Luigi like he was a criminal. "Your cat's in my space," she snapped, her face red. Luigi, poor thing, was crouched under her desk, trembling. I scooped him up, feeling his little heart racing against my chest. "I'm so sorry," I stammered. "He's just exploring. He's not used to the house yet." Fern's eyes narrowed. "This is our space. The upstairs is ours. Keep your cats out." I was stunned. The upstairs wasn't theirs in any official way, we all paid equal rent, equal shares of the deposit. But I didn't want to fight. "Okay," I said, my voice shaky. "How about I buy a gate for the stairs? That way, the cats can't go up, but you can still move freely." It seemed fair, I'd even pay for it. Fern's response? "No way. I'd trip over it and break my neck." I blinked, confused. The gate would be low, designed for pets, not a hazard. But she wouldn't budge. "Fine," I tried again, "what if you just close the doors to your rooms? That way, the cats can't get in, and there's no gate." Fern scoffed. "That's not happening. It gets too cold upstairs with the doors closed." I felt my stomach twist. Her excuses made no sense, but her tone was final. Then she dropped her solution: "Your cats stay in your bedroom and the living room. Nowhere else." My jaw dropped. The living room was the dog's domain, loud, chaotic, and the last place Luigi felt safe. The kitchen, where the cat tree was now off limits too. Fern refused to let me move the cat tree to the living room, saying it'd clutter her space. I stood there, clutching Luigi, feeling like the walls were closing in. My cats were being caged in my own home, while her untrained dogs roamed free, leaving messes and jumping wherever they pleased. I tried reasoning with her. "Fern, I've offered 2 solutions, and I'll pay for the gate. Your dogs go everywhere, even my room's doorstep. Why can't my cats have a little space?" My voice was calm, but inside, I was screaming. Fern crossed her arms, her engagement ring glinting under the fluorescent light. "If you don't like my rules, you can leave," she said coldly. Eric, who'd been silent, nodded like a loyal puppy. I felt a lump in my throat. These were people I'd trusted, laughed with, shared meals with. Now they were ganging up on me, treating my cats like pests and me like an intruder. Tears stung my eyes, and I hated myself for it. I turned away, not wanting them to see me break. But Fern noticed. "What, you're gonna cry about it now?" she mocked, her voice dripping with contempt. That was it. Something snapped inside me. I wasn't just losing my home, I was losing my dignity. I wiped my eyes, straightened my spine, and said, "You're being unreasonable. I've tried to compromise." "You're not even trying." Fern smirked. "Take it or leave it, Sarah." I chose to leave. That night, I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, Mario curled up on my chest, Luigi tucked against my side. My room felt like a prison, not a home. I thought about Fern's sneer, Eric's silence, the way they dismissed me. My cats didn't deserve this. I didn't deserve this. I made a decision: I'd move out, but I wouldn't let them walk all over me. By mid-December, I was done. I packed my things, my hands shaking with anger and hurt as I unjealoused I folded clothes and stacked boxes. I took Mario and Luigi to my parents' house, where they could roam without fear. My mom hugged me as I unloaded my fears. What if Fern or Eric lash out at them? What if they're not safe? She squeezed my hand. "You're doing the right thing." I recorded a video of my room before I left, every inch vacuumed, every surface wiped, the carpet showing nothing but clean lines. I wasn't giving them any excuse to screw me over. Breaking the lease wasn't easy. It cost $300 to remove my name, and since Fern and Eric were the ones demanding I leave, I texted them, "I'll pay the $300 fee if you refund my $700 security deposit." That's fair. They agreed, promising in writing, "Of course, that's your money. You'll get it the day you sign off the lease." I saved those texts, sensing they might try something. And they did. January came, and I signed off the lease. My heart was heavy, but I was ready to move on. Then, on the day of the signing, I got a text from Fern, "You're not getting the $700. You left the room a mess." My blood ran cold. A mess? I'd left that room spotless, vacuumed, dusted, pristine. I fired back, "I have photos and a video proving the room was clean." "You agreed to pay me." Their response? A laughing emoji and a taunt, "Good luck in court, Sarah. You can't afford it, and you've got no case." I sat on my parents' couch, staring at my phone, my hands trembling. They thought they could bully me, mock me, and steal my money because I was young, emotional, and weak. But they didn't know me. I wasn't just hurt, I was furious. And I was done being pushed around. I opened my laptop and started researching small claims court. They thought I'd back down? They were about to learn how wrong they were. Filing in small claims court wasn't cheap. It cost $90 for certified mail, which Fern and Eric dodged. I had to shell out another $90 for process servers to ensure they were served. Every penny felt like a stab, but I told myself it'd be worth it. I spent nights preparing my case, my bedroom floor covered in papers, the lease, our texts, my photos, and notes on my state's landlord-tenant laws. Landlords have 30 days to provide an itemized list of damages after a tenant leaves. Fern and Eric never sent one. They had nothing but lies. The court date loomed, and my nerves were a mess. My stomach churned as I imagined facing them, their smug faces, their taunts. But I practiced my argument in the mirror, keeping my voice steady, "Stay calm. Stick to the facts. You've got this." I packed my evidence, a folder with printed texts, photos, and the lease, and headed to the courthouse. The courtroom was cold, the kind of sterile chill that seeps into your bones. I arrived early, clutching my folder, my heart pounding like a drum. The cases before mine were a mess, people shouting, interrupting, rolling their eyes. The magistrate's face was stone, and I realized he valued calm and clarity. I took a deep breath, smoothing my skirt, and vowed to keep my cool. Fern and Eric strolled in 2 minutes late, looking smug as ever. Fern's hair was perfectly curled, her lipstick bright red, like she was here for a photo shoot, not a reckoning. Eric slouched beside her, avoiding my eyes. The magistrate called our case, and I went first. My voice wavered at first, but I found my rhythm. "Your Honor, I paid $300 to break the lease, and the defendants agreed in writing to refund my $700 security deposit." I held up the texts, my hands steady now. They claimed I left the room a mess, but I have photos and a video showing it was spotless. State law requires landlords to provide an itemized damage list within 30 days. They never did. I passed the photos to the bailiff, my heart racing as Fern and Eric leaned forward to look. Fern's face twisted, like she'd bitten a lemon. Eric shifted uncomfortably. When it was their turn, Fern stood, her voice dripping with fake confidence. She left the room in disarray. It smelled like cat urine, and there were stains everywhere. You can see them in her photos. My stomach dropped. Stains? Smell? She was lying through her teeth. The magistrate studied the photos, his glasses perched on his nose. He zoomed in, his face unreadable, then looked at Fern. "I see vacuum lines on the carpet. No stains. No damage a landlord would note." My heart soared. Fern's mouth opened, then closed, like a fish out of water. Eric said nothing, his face red. I wanted to cheer, but I kept my expression neutral. At the end, Fern tried one last desperate move. She wasn't kicked out. She left on her own in December. The magistrate raised an eyebrow. "She's not claiming she was kicked out. She's claiming you owe her $700 and broke your agreement." I nodded, adding, "I left because I didn't feel my cats were safe with their hostility." "That's not the issue here. The issue is the money." The magistrate nodded, scribbling notes. Then came the verdict. The plaintiff has met the burden of proof, he said, his voice firm. The defendants owe $700 for the security deposit, plus $180 in court fees. I felt a rush of relief so strong my knees nearly buckled. Fern's face was a mask of shock, her eyes wide. Eric stared at the floor, defeated. I wanted to laugh, to cry, to scream, take that. But I just smiled politely and thanked the magistrate. Inside, I was dancing. But the story wasn't over. Fern and Eric appealed, dragging it out. I was furious but not surprised, they'd already dodged service and lied through their teeth. The appeal meant facing a judge, not just a magistrate. My nerves returned, but so did my resolve. I wasn't letting them win. The appeal day arrived, and I showed up at the courthouse, my folder thicker with notes. I waited, my palms sweaty, watching the clock. 10 minutes passed. Then 20. Finally, the clerk approached. The defendants canceled their appeal. I blinked. What? She smiled. You win by default. They've already paid the $880. I stood there, stunned, as a grin spread across my face. They'd folded. They'd paid. After all their taunts, their lies, their smugness, I'd won. Looking back, this wasn't just about the $880. It was about standing up to people who thought they could bully me, mock my tears, and steal what was mine. Fern and Eric underestimated me, thinking I was too young, too emotional, too weak to fight back. But I proved them wrong. I learned that justice isn't always easy. It cost me time, money, and sleepless nights, but it's worth it when you know you're right. My cats, Mario and Luigi, are safe now, lounging in my parents' sunny living room, free from Fern's ridiculous rules. And me? I'm stronger than I was, knowing I can face down bullies and come out on top. This story makes you think about fairness, about standing your ground, about the small victories that feel huge when you've been wronged. Have you ever had to fight for what's yours? Maybe it was a roommate, a boss, or even a friend who betrayed you. I hope this story reminds you that you're stronger than you think and karma. It's real. Wow, what a ride. If this story gave you chills or made you cheer for Sarah's victory, smash that like button.